Well, Bruno Mars continues to break streaming records as he becomes the first artist to cross the 150 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Huge.
That's our first Hot Topic, brought to you by Walton Art Center. And so what's crazy about this is he hasn't even put out a solo album since 2016, but he's made history on the platform on the back of his hot streak of collaborative singles.
Those collabs.
I know. So currently he's the #1 artist on Spotify and is teeing up for the Grammy Awards. We know that's happening this Sunday. And he's nominated alongside Lady Gaga for Song of the Year and Best Pop Duo Performance. And I have to say, you know, I don't really get that tired of Bruno songs.
Oh, I don't get tired.
When they come on like the radio, I'm like, ooh.
I tell you what I struggle with, though, specifically on streaming, is that these singles, right? Everybody puts out a single. It's easier to release a single. I get that. But I want so much more.
Sure.
And so I don't really dive into listening to these singles
I know.
as much as I would.
He's coming out with an album soon, so fingers crossed.
But the problem is we will have already heard like 6 of those songs, 6 out of 10.
Those have become your favorites, and so why listen to the rest?
I know, but huge milestone.
Oh, yeah.
Crossing a threshold. It's awesome for Bruno. I love it. And sticking with kind of music news here, and one of his collab partners, Lady Gaga's new album, officially has a title and a release date. So this is what I can get behind. The new 14-track album titled Mayhem will include the singles Disease and Die With a Smile, which is the Bruno Mars song, with a full track list to be released at a later date. The project was executive produced by Gaga and Andrew Watt, as well as Gaga's fiance, Michael Polanski. Gaga said the album started as me facing my fear of returning to the pop music my earliest fans loved. So she went on to describe the process as reassembling a shattered mirror, adding, even if you can't put the pieces back together perfectly, you can create something beautiful and whole in its own new way. So love Gaga, love to see this coming out soon.
I'm really excited for more Gaga music for sure.
Same.
Well, okay, Stranger Things star Finn Wolfhard is reflecting on the way that he has been personally affected by seeing the 10-year run of the show come to a close. I'm sad about this, but obviously the conclusion of production on the series' 5th and final season of Stranger Things, it's happening, and the star revealed, quote, a lot of people grew up on that show, and it was a very emotional thing to leave behind. He did add, I was feeling a bit depressed about it being over just because of not being able to see everyone and stuff. And then you remember, oh, but it comes out and people get to see it and you get to re-experience it with everyone. I can imagine, because they were so little when they started.
I know, what, they're 5 and now they're 35?
Now they're adults. It's wild.
It's taken a minute to get through these 5 seasons of the show. But one thing that me and my family did the last season that came out is we rewatched all of the other seasons leading up to it just to get pumped, to get ready.
Totally.
Again. So I think a lot of folks probably do that. What a great show.
Too.
I'm excited about that. The highly anticipated 3rd season, and I'm also excited about this one, of HBO's The White Lotus is set to premiere on February 16th, so we're less than a month away, and we now have a trailer dropped yesterday. This season transports viewers to a luxurious resort in Thailand. The ensemble cast features Natasha Rothwell reprising her role as Belinda, alongside newcomers Carrie Coon, Leslie Bibb, Michelle Monaghan, Walton Goggins, among others. The official trailer teases a blend of satire and suspense, hinting at a complex relationship and a mysterious death that will keep audiences captivated. So mark your calendars for another thrilling journey into the world of The White Lotus.
I still have not watched the show.
You've got to dive in.
To.
It has one of your favorites in it. First 2 seasons. Jennifer Coolidge.
Watch it.
You have to.
Oh my God.
I've never seen you two in the same place at the same time, so you could have been in it.
I am Jennifer Coolidge. Well, King Charles led the royal family's commemoration of the victims of the Holocaust on Holocaust Memorial Day. This was yesterday, and the king traveled to Poland to visit Auschwitz on what was described as a, quote, deeply personal pilgrimage. The date marks the anniversary of the camp's liberation by Allied forces on January 27, 1945, and it's observed globally as Holocaust Memorial Day. Now, marking the 80th anniversary of the liberation, King Charles' visit, it was really profound because he's the first British monarch to visit the concentration camp, which I had no idea.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a milestone in itself. We're talking about all these pop culture references, but this is something that obviously holds some gravity, holds a little bit of weight, and the king making a visit is astonishing.
80th anniversary.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the numbers are in, and Variety has revealed the most streamed series of 2024. Now, according to a recent Variety report, Bluey took the crown as the most streamed show in the U.S. for 2024 with an incredible 35 billion minutes viewed streaming on Disney+. The beloved Australian children's series continues to charm audiences of all ages with its heartfelt storytelling and lovable characters. Other shows dominating the charts included Grey's Anatomy on Netflix, Family Guy over on Hulu, proving that comfort watch classics are still reigning supreme. And then rounding out the top 10 were fan favorites like Suits on Peacock, CoComelon on Netflix, South Park on HBO Max, showcasing a mix of both animated hits and timeless dramas. These series captured billions of minutes of our time last year. So
that is wild.
That is wild. I've never seen an episode of Bluey. I mean, my kids have aged
Yeah.
out, so. But a lot of people love it, obviously.
A lot of people love Bluey, so
Yes.
I don't know, maybe we're missing something.
We probably are. Yeah.
Well, Steven Spielberg is obviously one of the greatest film directors of all time, but what most folks don't realize is that he's the father of 7 children, and there's a chance that his family would be a whole lot smaller if he had never made Extraterrestrial.
Yeah,
So the
I saw
Hollywood
this.
legend was accompanied by Drew Barrymore during a panel at the TMC Classic Film Festival on Saturday, and the two spoke about their experiences working on E.T., and Spielberg said, quote, "Up until that point, I was just making movies. That was my life. But making E.T. made me want to be a father for the first time." How sweet is that?
I wonder what did it. I mean, working with Drew Barrymore as a kid, or just all the
Right.
child stars that were in that one.
There's no telling. She did say, she's like, it wasn't a terrible experience. It basically didn't make you not want to be a father,
Right.
but quite the opposite.
Right. It
So,
made him want to dive in.
yeah,
I
really
love-
sweet.
Love it. One of my favorite actors, Jennifer Garner, headed back to the TV screens, leading the adaptation of 5-Star Weekend on Peacock. And this one was reported yesterday by TVLive.com. The new series, based on Ellen Hildebrand's best-selling novel, follows a woman who gathers her closest friends from various stages of her life for an unforgettable weekend after tragedy strikes. With drama, heart, and an all-star cast alongside Garner, the show promises to be your next binge-worthy obsession. Now, there is no release date yet, but of course, fans are already buzzing about this one, seeing Jennifer back on the small screen.
Love her.
I love her too, so I'm excited, and absolutely looks fantastic.
Absolutely. I definitely could get behind that for sure.
Yeah, certainly.